Hello and welcome. I'm Rashim Mogha and this is season 3 of the Empowered Women of the World podcast, a podcast where we talk about technology, leadership and success. Happy Earth Day and Sustainability Month. This month I dive into a top trend for 2022 that I touched upon in my January podcast. Supply chain strategies will now focus on resiliency. Now, why is this a top trend for 2022? From toilet paper shortage in 2020 to car rental crunch for spring breakers here in the US, need I say why it's the top trend for 2022? I remember speaking about this topic in the CXO Fireside Chat powered by Informatica in July of 2020, where I was invited to speak as a thought leader. Now, efficiency and resiliency have traditionally been opposing forces in our economy. As businesses focused on efficiency, they tend to have forgotten about resiliency. In the last decade or so, businesses have focused so much on being efficient, and that meant that they got rid of duplication and redundancy from the supply chains. Now, from the shortage of test kits to the shortage of toilet paper, we all saw the breakdown of the supply chain in last 2 years. In year 2022, we will see supply chain strategies that focus on striking a balance between efficiency and resiliency. Now, organizations are already re-evaluating their operational strategies by reviewing their build versus buy strategies and building redundancy in procurement, production, and storage processes. So, what do you need to think about as you start thinking about building resiliency in supply chain? First and foremost is creating a sustainable supply chain strategy. Now, businesses need to reassess their product journeys and its impact on environment. Think about water consumption, energy consumption, waste production, and more. They're already starting to review their asset strategy, geographical footprint, and have started diversifying raw material acquisition, manufacturing, packaging, and shipping such that they minimize carbon emission, recycle products and packages, reduce waste, and use renewable energy sources. Now, the second thing that they need to do is to expedite digital transformation initiatives. Now, businesses need to build flexibility by fast-tracking their journey to digital transformation. Digital transformation is no longer an option. It's an imperative for a business's success. And when you think about business transformation and when you think about digital transformation, it's a combination of people, process, and technology where people play the most important role. And organizations will have to start thinking about upskilling their workforce for the future of work as new technologies like automation become the forefront of this digital transformation. Continuous learning is going to play such a huge role in the future of work. So, one way you can enable your teams and focus on continuous learning is by bringing your team to the eWOW 2022 virtual summit to prepare them for continuous learning. The third way or the third important aspect to building resiliency and redundancy in supply chain is by treating supply chain data as product. Now, traditionally, supply chains have been a black box with minimal visibility and transparency. Building resiliency in supply chain means looking at your data differently. You have to think about big data, ML, and AI technologies. And when you look at these technologies, data is the backbone. So, unless you have trusted data, you can't reap the benefits of these technologies. Integrating that trusted data into supply chains is also important. Supply chains are complex. Now, there are multiple stakeholders, many vendors, and various systems and applications involved when you start thinking about supply chain. Data is buried in different systems and applications across departments, regions, or even across vendors. Connecting the systems and breaking down data silos is important to leverage technologies like artificial intelligence and machine learning. For optimization, you need to ensure that you can access all the data and bring it together in a consumable form for predictive analysis and to be able to make data-driven business decisions. I would love to hear from you what strategies you are using in your organization to build resiliency. And today's resource for you is the link to the eWOW 2022 Virtual Summit to set you up for success this year. The link is in the show notes. As always, thank you for joining me today, and thank you for loving, liking, subscribing, supporting, and sharing this podcast. Remember, sharing is caring. I look forward to seeing you again in our next podcast. Till then, keep empowering the world.